let's take a quick look at the teams we have coming in today. So for QSFN, we have Giovani, we have TME through at number 2, we have Kitano, and at number 3, we have number 4 is Esk, and at number 5, it's Loop. Then over here for S8UL, we have at number 1, we have Rishu. Through at number 2, we have Ashok. At number 3, we have Beast Ayush. At number 4, we have Jack. And at number 5, we have Poku Bai. QSFN coming in now with their first attack of this war, and it looks like it is going to be a Skelly Donut, maybe? We potentially could be doing Skelly Donut here. Down goes the blimp onto that town hall. Hopefully we should be able to push through it. We have another safe blimp. So S8UL started with that safe blimp. QSFN continue along that theme. We see these sneaky goblins picking off a couple of those storages as well once they've taken down that town hall. Talk about value. Okay, so maybe not actually coming in with the Skelly Donut. We're just going to spam everything in now from this right hand side of the base. We're creating a little bit of a funnel here, dropping down that rage spell nice and early on here. Going to use every single spell we have to help support our troops as they push through this right hand side. It feels like we haven't really secured very much of the base, and already I feel like this attack might start to be struggling. Needs to be careful here because we do have both of the headhunters on the Grand Warden. Somehow, some way, he stays alive, but that was very, very close right there. Dropping down that free spell on the multi-target Inferno. Over on this right-hand side of the base, we've got the multi in the core. Looks like it potentially could end up staying up if we don't get a couple of those dragons pushing through onto it. We do still have our king and our queen doing some work up there towards that 12 o'clock section of the base. We've got the enemy royal champion now stepping up, also joining forces with the enemy king to do some serious damage. All of our dragons dead. All of our dragon riders dead. What is happening in this attack? I really have no idea. Really starting to struggle here. We're seeing a 66% currently. We do still have a couple of our hero abilities on the back end. We have those double invis, we have that free spell, but the dragons and dragon rider combination, the Hydra of the air, yeah, it's struggling here. But remember, we do still have this royal champion here on the back end, so she is hopefully going to be able to push through this scatter shot with the help of the heroes. Do we still have this? Ayo, I think we might still get this. We do have the spell support, which we just seem to be swagging at this point. Are we going to use these spells? That is incredibly ballsy. Yo, he's swagged and he's not dealt with the scatter shot. Okay, he is going to get this, but ayo, I was like, what? Okay. Swagging those spells a little bit prematurely for my liking. I probably would have used that invis on the RC, but hey, he does get that triple down, and that means QSFN take an early lead in this war by 1 star. So GG's to them on that attack. S8UL going to be coming in with their second attack, and it is going to be Poku Bai coming in with a blimp to kick off proceedings. It's going to be a Yeti blimp. We have not dropped a rage spell, and are we going to get that scatter shot? Yes, just by the skin of our teeth we pick up that scatter shot. Those Yetis were going walkabouts, but they do get the job done that we needed them to. Okay, CC troops are going to now be lured over to this right-hand side of the base. We dropped down that poison spell to help us get through the enemy headhunters as well as those archers. Couple of balloons going to go out in front. Those are going to help us tank for the super minions. Poison spell still active, so that means we should be able to get through them no problem. That unicorn bringing the queen back up to full HP so she can start on her journey through this right hand side of the base. Yeti going to be coming in through from this 6 o'clock section of the base. It looks like he I think, getting some work done. Now, interesting. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Dropping the healers directly into the archer tower and air defense when he could have just dropped them in from this 3 o'clock section of the base. I'm really not sure of the placement of that. So he's already lost a healer And he did have to commit a couple of extra loons just to deal with that archer tower. So questionable decision coming through on that one. We do have one Dragon Rider on its own coming in through from this bottom section of the base. Shouldn't really have any trouble pushing through this wizard tower because it's really not doing very much DPS to him. And yeah, they're looking pretty good. Okay, King's now going to be coming in from that top 1 o'clock section of the base. We've got that Queen going to continue doing some work with the healers, bringing her back up. Those healers getting pushed back a little bit by that sweeper, but it's not the end of the world. King's ability going to get popped off right there. We also have the Royal Champion joining in from that 12 o'clock section of the base. Free spell going to be going down in the core. We want to make sure we're protecting up our Queen for as long as possible, but so far this is a really nice attack coming in from Poku by Town Hall. Will be secured by that King and the RC. Down it goes right there. RC actually does turn and goes off to the outside of the base. We dropped in that invisibility spell, once again protecting up our Queen, letting her do some more work through the core of this base, freezing up the scatter shot towards the back end of the base right here. That is our last spell, so we do need to be careful, but we do still have that Queen ability. Time is the biggest issue. We did take a considerable amount of it to get going with this attack, and now it's all going to come down to, can we clean up these last few defenses? We're going to need that Queen to really step up here. We have 3% to grab. Are we going to be able to get it? Yes, we are. 5 seconds left up on the clock, and Pokubai brings in that first triple for S8UL with a really nice Queen Charge Dragon Rider hit. So QSFN obviously looking to put another triple on the board, and they are looking for Kitano to be the one to step up and do it. Pokubai with those slightly lower level walls. Okay, so a little bit of an unorthodox start there. Usually we don't tend to see the invisibility spells coming down first for the Skelly Donuts. I also think he's throwing those invisibility spells down a little too quickly, but still it doesn't matter because we get the job done and we clear out the core section of this base very nicely with that Skelly Donut. Of course, it is going to be a S8UL Lalo here for the remainder of the attack because that entire core section is cleared. We shouldn't really have any trouble. When I say we shouldn't have any trouble, of course, there is always the possibility that you might get baited and you might not even see those Yetimites getting the value you wanted. There was a Tesla farm in there, but we do still manage to pick up the single target Inferno, which was the target we were looking for. Couple of sneaky goblins going to be coming in from that 1 to 2 o'clock section. We're seeing that Queen. She should hopefully be funneled enough that she should start to walk in towards this town hall using that other skeleton spell. I think trying to tank for the Queen a little bit, but that cannon does still lock onto her. We now have the King entering down from this 3 o'clock section of the base. Once again, looks like he's just going to be used to try and push in towards this scatter shot. The enemy King and the enemy Royal Champion in there, so we decide to drop our own RC and fight them head on head in a 2v2 heroes battle. Who's going to win? Of course, our King with his ability. RC's going to come in and help out as well. Down goes the scatter shot. All the meanwhile, we have our Queen still going strong up here, that 12 o'clock section of the base. She's now starting to walk down to 1 and to push in towards that town hall. Her ability going to be popped off, and that means that town hall will be secured. Lalo has a really nice easy L shape, which is exactly what you want when you're Laloing. Should be very easy pathing coming in here for Kitano, looking to use that Royal Champion here in the back end, protecting her up with that invisibility spell, pushing through that multi-target Inferno. This is absolutely phenomenal coming in from Kitano, going into the Eagle on the very last defense, but this is crushed. We do see our Grand Warden get sniped off in the core of the base, but this is not the end of the world. Actually, if this Grand Warden statue could actually take down this Lava Hound to get a few more pups on the board, that would have been nice, but it's not the end of the world. There we go. As I say that, we get a Black Bomb hitting it. Plenty more pups to add to the cleanup, and this absolutely crushed from Kitano. A beautiful start to this attack, coming in with that Skelly Donut. Interestingly enough, starting off with the invisibility spell, but it got the job done. That whole core compartment cleaned out. Heroes coming in, cleaning out one side of the base. Lalo comes in, smashes through the other, and that was insane. Here we go, S8UL coming in with their next attack. Can they continue on that beautiful triple streak that they started on the previous attack? We will just need to wait and see. Rocking that original Queen skin. Yetis coming in for the Town Hall are going to secure it with the help of that Rage. Down goes that Poison Spell. Slightly later than I probably would have dropped it, because now we have the Grand Warden statue doing some serious damage. A little bit of a questionable placement on the... In fact, no, that should be fine. That's looking good. With the help of that Rage Spell, we should be able to push through the CC. A little bit unlucky that he happens to just be on the very, very edge of that Grand Warden statue. We know how much damage he can do, so we just need to keep an eye on our Queen's HP as we continue to walk through this section of the base. We've got the King now going to be coming in. There's that Rage Spell. Rage doesn't catch those healers though. Finally, they're going to step up. Okay, so 2 of our Rage Spells have already been committed, and this is the Queen only now entering through into the base. The King and that Royal Champion going to be pushing up from that 6 o'clock section of the base. Headhunter going to be coming in. That should help us get through the RC. Beautiful timing on that Headhunter. Gotta give it to Rishu. Absolutely stunning timing. Making sure he got it down at exactly the correct time. Down goes that Invisibility Spell, making sure we can get through that single target Inferno in the core. We have Dragon Riders going to be coming through on the back end of this one. Our Royal Champion's ability going to be popped off right there. Now, where are the Dragon Riders coming from? They are going to be swinging in from this left-hand side of the base. Queen is still going strong, though we do still have 2 multi-target Infernos on the back end. Need to keep an eye on our healers as well, because they have hit a couple of those red bombs. Royal Champion is dead, so we don't have her to potentially help us through the back end. There is the last Rage Spell that somehow stops that Queen from going to ability. Double a multi-target Inferno, though, locking onto our healers is bad. But we still managed to get through them. We pulled all the red bombs with the minion. That one minion absolutely clutching up. We do still have the Queen ability. That is going to be popped off right there. She's going to be able to get through the enemy king. The majority of these Dragon Riders on incredibly low HP. What am I talking about? Only one of them are. The other 2 on about full HP. And I think Rishu has done enough to bring in another 3-star for his team. He's not got the most time on the clock, but I think he's going to have enough cleanup here. That Queen's still going strong. She's going to be held up here for a couple of seconds on those skeletons, but he will still have enough to push on through and pick up that 3-star here for S8UL. Here we go. Next attack going to be coming in right there. Esk swinging on through with the log launcher. Alright, interesting. So the log launcher probably would actually be able to get a considerable amount of value here if that's the direction we do decide to go in. Let's wait and see. Is that what he's going to do? No log launcher. Yeah, here it goes. That's exactly what's going to be happening. We've got the log launcher going to be rolling all the way over from this 3 o'clock section, through the eagle, through the multi, through the single, over to that town hall. But it looks like our Queen maybe not quite going the way we wanted her to. She is going to be joining forces with that ice golem and those skeleton spells to potentially push in and deal with that scatter shot. We do have that headhunter sadly going to get a couple of shots off on her. So we decide to pop her ability. Can she take down this scatter shot? Yes, she can. Absolutely OP. We are also going to be able to take down the multi-target Inferno there with the remainder of our clan castle troops. Queen hanging on to dear life, but she does not have her ability. Second of those poison spells going down, helping us to get through. Couple of Yetis in the core, now getting taken down. Don't quite take down any more defenses though. We do still have our Royal Champion's ability to pop off. There it is. Can they grab this second multi-target Inferno? I think they can. Lovely stuff. Okay, single target Inferno does end up locking onto our Queen, but she's going to step out of range. A little bit of a risky Lalo directly into the town hall, but we're seeing this more and more with these pro players. They just use that Eternal Tome. Oh, a little bit late on that Eternal Tome, so we do end up losing 1 or 2 balloons, but waited for the very, very last second. Also catching the Royal Champion with that Tome, but she does then get taken down by that Town Hall Poison and single target Inferno. But the single target Inferno somehow, some way manages to find our Grand Warden through every single one of those balloons. And it looks like that single is going to be the final defense to go down if we can keep our balloons alive for that long. Queen now getting brought back up to a little bit more HP with the help of that unicorn. We've got a massive pack of balloons. We do still have an invisibility spell as well. And it looks like this is going to be the third 3-star in a row coming in from QSFN. Queen is going to be able to tidy up that gold collector. We do, of course, like I said, have that invisibility spell, so we'll 100% take down this base unless there are lots of red bombs in here, but I think they would have been over next to the multi-target inferno. There's one red bomb, but it is going to be a 3. We accidentally make the single target inferno invisible. Has that just cost him the war? Oh, we still get it. Wow. Esk accidentally makes the single target inferno invisible. Very nearly time fails. We're coming in with Giovani from QSFN, and he is going to be coming in with more Lalo. You love to see it. Okay. Looks like we're going to be blimping to snag the scatter shot down here at this south section of the base. We're going to be raging it up. We also should be able to get a lure out on the CC. We do indeed. So out comes the probably one of the most common CCs we're seeing, which is the Lava Hound Double Headhunter Archer CC. It usually is pretty easy to take down as well. We do see this one Headhunter doing a considerable amount of damage onto that queen right there, but with the help of that unicorn, she should be brought back up. Poison spell held just about long enough that when the hound pops, those pups should be taken down by the poison. Let's just wait and see. Perfect. They all go down. Only a couple of them don't quite get caught, and it looks like potentially we might be using our king to help push on through here to deal with that single target inferno. Okay. Down goes the skeleton spell. That means we can get our ice golem and our giant in there. We've got the king now pushing in from that right hand side of the base. Ice golem is going to freeze everything up. We drop down a poison spell to help get through all of those skeleton spells. Skeleton traps. Our skeleton spell is still in there. We are going to have to go ahead and use an invisibility spell to protect our queen. We have another skeleton spell coming on through, helping our royal champion to deal with this multi-target inferno. King and queen will secure that town hall. And this Sui is what I'm talking about. Very, very nice coming in here from Giovani. Able to secure a nice little chunk of the base. We still have that queen ability as well, but it is going to be that multi-target inferno in the core that Giovani will need to be very, very careful of. Using that free spell, we have a heal spell as well. And there is the heal spell. That is hopefully going to allow our balloons, even with the bombs in the middle, to get through this single target inferno. And this is absolutely crushed. It's another 3-star for QSFN. These guys are on fire. They are going to go 4 out of 4, completely wiping this base out. We're going to swag the invisibility spell. We also have our queen ability still in hand. Potentially can use this invisibility spell to protect up our queen a little bit. No, we're just going to go ahead. We're going to pop that ability. It's going to be another 3-star. A beautiful Lalo coming in for Giovani, but an even nicer Sui to kick off this attack. There it is. 3 stars on the board. And currently, QSFN are 12 stars to 10, and they are 4 out of 4 on triples. So Ashok will need to bring in a triple. If this is anything less than a triple, QSFN have pretty much won. So here we go. It's going to be a super bowler hit, so it's going to be the first ground attack we are seeing in this war. I do really enjoy watching these super bowler attacks. I feel like it's a lot more like it's clumped up, so your spells are, you have to be a lot more precise with them. Whereas in, well, I suppose in the Lalo you got to be pretty precise as well. But I'm so used to seeing like the heroes separate from like the initial or from the rest of the attack. Whereas in this style of attack, you get a lot of the heroes pushing on through. Like you get the Grand Warden, you get the RC usually, and you get the Queen all pushing on through. The King usually is just used to funnel. If she can end up going into the base as well, that's nice though. But Ashok looks like he's going to be coming in with a Grand Warden Walk to kick off proceedings. Does need to be careful. His Warden is taking a little bit of damage. We have that log launcher currently selected as well, so it looks like we're potentially going to be rolling over 1, 2, 3 Infernos and the Eagle Artillery. We've got the Ice Golem going to be coming in, doing a little bit of protecting here for that Queen as she enters the base with those super bowlers. Okay, King going to be coming in there as well from that left-hand side of the base. We're going to freeze up the multi-target Inferno. We don't want to lose too much damage onto our log launcher too early because we, of course, want that log launcher to open up all of these core compartments. Second multi-target Inferno in the core, not going to quite go down, and this log launcher does not do its job. It's not quite opened up all of the walls we're looking for, and that means that already we're seeing quite a lot of these troops walking onto the outside of the base. We do have a jump spell, but it's not going to be enough to allow our troops to push all the way through into the back end. Luckily, those super bowlers are smart enough that they knew they had to open up that wall themselves. Raging Up continuing to push through the back end of this one. The split that we have is not amazing, but it's not the worst. We've got that Grand Warden up alongside a good chunk of troops at that top section of the base. We still have our Queen ability. Hopefully she should be able to snag this Town Hall for us. The Unicorn and that one healer helping to keep that Queen alive. Super Bowler now on the Town Hall, and it looks like Ashok is going to be doing everything in his power to bring in that 3-star to potentially save his team this war. But they're going to need a big defense on that last attack. It is going to be a 3-star coming in from Ashok with a beautiful Super Bowler attack. Got a little bit of a nasty split there in the core, but it's going to be enough to bring in that 3-star. Not really putting too much pressure on QSFN as they are only now 1-star behind with 1 attack in hand. Fifth and final attack of this war going to be coming in for TME of QSFN. Can this man pick up the perfect war? We will just need to wait and see. And once again, we are seeing that weird kind of unique style of Skelly Donut coming in where they start with the invisibility spell. Earthquake spell has gone down and we secure the Inferno and the Clan Castle. Beautiful stuff right there. Okay, off to the ideal start. Can we take down Ayushi's base? We'll need to wait and see. So Queen looks like she's going to be pushing in towards that Town Hall. Might need to just keep an eye on that army camp to make sure that Queen is properly funneled. We're going to get that King. I love that King skin. Definitely one of my favorites. Going to be coming in from this right-hand side of the base. Queen steps up and into that Town Hall compartment. Perfect. Exactly where we needed her to go. King is going to be dealing with the enemy Queen. Already getting rid of her is a really nice touch. King doing some nice work tanking here. Sadly, the scatter does still lock onto the Royal Champion though. RC steps up. She's going to deal with that air defense. They're then going to push on through towards that scatter shot. Queen, with her ability, pushing through that Town Hall. 1-star on the board. All they need is a 2-star to win this war. And they're already looking very, very good to get it. Okay, here comes that Lalo. Queen is going to go down up there, that 12 o'clock section. Sadly, that Unicorn not quite strong enough to help keep her alive. 10% is all that's needed. But can we push through to grab the all-important triple? That would be a very nice way to finish off this war. We have our Grand Warden going to be coming in with the Lalo over from this left-hand side of the base. We do have our Stone Slammer still pushing through. It should hopefully, with the help of the whatever is inside those CC, deal with that multi-target Inferno. Down it goes right there. We are hasting through these loons onto the back end. We still got 2 haste spells and a freeze spell. And this very much looks to me like QSFN have just answered with a perfect war of their own. I don't want to jinx it because we've just seen a load of red bombs here on the back end, but it looks like they have done enough. They've got the double haste spell still to go down in the back end. There is the tornado trap. We're also going to find one more red bomb and another red bomb just for the banter, but it is going to be a 3-star. Absolutely crushing this base, and QSFN get the job done. 5 out of 5 on triples. They managed to pick up 2 defenses as well, and there it is. They pick up a perfect war here in EWU. 15 stars to 13. GG's to both teams, though. Some really, really sexy 3-stars coming on through. But every time I seem to stream QSFN, they seem to get a perfect war.
Day that passes without you on my mind. Not even 1 minute can end up before you come around. I yearn for the days when I see your face here before me.